Welcome back to Out of the Rough, We Edition. And if Tara, you'd introduce our next guest.
I am super excited to bring you Keri Newell. She's a good friend of mine. I've been to her workshops. I'm so excited about what she's going to share with you today. We're going to talk about communication magic with men, and Keri's a communication expert. And she really has a passion for helping women improve their relationships, men and women. But today we're here to talk about communication magic with men. Isn't that exciting?
I might get in trouble talking about communication magic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get in trouble here. So yeah, this is an interesting subject.
It is.
An important subject.
Yeah, so Keri, how did you get started with this?
You know, I got started, my mom and I started this business together, Dr. Sherry Zander, and what we both had was this similar story of, you know, growing up, our parents got divorced when we were young, I got married when I was young, then I got divorced, and the idea was, what happens, why does it start off so good? And why does it get to the point of that place? And that's about romantic relationships. But let's face it, men and women are different. You know, so whether it is your romantic relationship or even your work relationships, your clients, any time that you're dealing with the opposite sex, there's some handy things that you can learn that'll make a huge difference.
I've learned a ton from you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got to tread lightly on this subject matter so I don't get in trouble. But let's talk about that, because I think men and women and understanding the differences is absolutely critical because they communicate so differently.
We do. We do. We actually have brain differences that are different, which cause us to be able to handle things differently, hear things differently, respond differently. And once we kind of demystify what those are, it's like a whole new world, right?
Yeah, and understanding those.
It is, and actually I've lessened my frustration with my husband because of those strategies you've taught me, so thank you. So what can women expect to gain out of changing the way we communicate with men?
Right, well, most women want to send their husbands off, you know, somewhere for the weekend to learn about how to do it better, you know, be the husband of their dreams, right? But the reality is that women hold the power when they use their femininity, when they learn to communicate and they understand how men are receiving the way that they're speaking to them. It's this whole dynamic that changes. So when I communicate differently with a man, he responds differently. So I end up getting my needs met. Those needs may be that you are listened to and heard. That's a common thing that women say, I'm never heard, right? He never hears me. And this applies once again to any relationship with the opposite sex. You know, you're gonna be cherished and adored, you're gonna be protected and provided for. It's just so harmonious. And in business, when you think of those things, what would it be like to have the man have your back, right? So it's not always just about romance, but these things are really important, and all of the common things that women complain about, not being heard, not feeling understood, you know, and men wanting to be drawn to them, to spend time with them, to do business with them. There's just a harmonious way. So,
you know, I want to ask a question that I don't think I'm going to get in trouble asking. And that is, sometimes men want to know how to better communicate or how to know how to react so we can have more, how do they say, more harmonious at home. You know, when mom's happy, everyone's happy.
Right.
And it is very true.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy
That's
life,
right.
yeah. And so I believe that if this is shared, this open communication is shared, and men want to understand how to best, if you will, satisfy the needs of whatever the lady wants to hear or would like to communicate with.
Would you like a tip for?
I'd love a tip. Help me out.
This might just make you fall off your chair and might be the last thing that you would want to do. But if you are around a woman that's upset, especially if it's a woman that you have a relationship with, we recommend that you say 3 magic little words.
Uh-oh. Better, you got your pen ready?
You're right.
I'm going to write it down.
Tell me more.
Oh.
Now, when we tell men this, they just about die because one of our challenges as women is getting to the bottom line. So would they want to hear more? No, they really don't want to hear more and more and more. But the idea is when you say tell me more, we feel heard. We feel like what we're saying is important. And common ways that men do respond to try to make the emotions and the feelings and everything going on go away cause us more frustration and aggravation, and we end up defending our feelings. It's a very interesting dynamic. So when you say, tell me more, you give her the opportunity to kind of gush and get all this stuff out, and it'll end much faster. So it really is a tool that works well.
I like it. Good.
It might sound a little scary, but it does work.
Yeah. I love it. Love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we want one secret for men? Do we have time for that?
I would love it.
Or so a secret for women.
A secret for women.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to share that one of the things that women complain about with men is they say, he doesn't tell me how he feels. Well, the challenge with that is that the way that a man's brain is made up is that you want to appeal to his thinking side of his brain. And that means you want to ask him what he thinks, not how he feels. When he responds to what he thinks, then you're going to get how he feels. You're going to understand where he's at with this. And that's a huge key. You know, we are trying to create men to be more like women, but we really want them to be men. There's a lot of value in men and just the way they are. So.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it. Are those that would like to reach out to you and get more advice to communicate better and have great relationships?
CommunicationMagicWithMen.com.
CommunicationMagicWithMen.com.
Yes.
And I'm assuming next will be CommunicationMagicWithWomen.com. Well, this was fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Great.
Something everybody could use.
Right.
We're going to jump to a quick break and we'll be right back.